Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 15th race of the first season of NASCAR Walmart Cup Series. I am Levi McIntyre, aka ThrashManiac99, the voice of NASCAR Walmart Cup Series, here to welcome you to the Canada 300 at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. This is our second road course race we've run this season. The first one we ran was Thornton, which Danny Wells in the 29 won that race. But we're in a much easier and a little bit kind of more technical kind of a track here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, held up in Canada, of course. And this is an exciting road course track. It's nearly 2.5 miles around, so it takes a lot less time to make a lap than Thornton does. In fact, we are running 16 laps here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. We're going to see who can pick up a win, or a driver who already has a win try to go for a second win of the season. But starting on the pole, once again this year is going to be the 48 of Austin LaPlante. Now, Austin LaPlante comes into this race 13th in points, but he has that win from Bristol under his belt, so he has a potential spot in the chase at the moment. But we shall see if he can get a second win and get locked into the chase. Starting second is going to be the 11 of Jessica Shelton, who comes into this race third in the points, but she has been wanting to get that win, and she's came so close several times this season. We'll see if this will be the race for her to get the win. Starting third is going to be the 99 of Cody Hagan. Now, Cody Hagan has been on a little bit of a momentum streak as he's moved himself up to 16th in the points, and he came so close to winning last week at M&M Super Speedway, finishing second to four-time winner Chris Washer. Which, note on Chris Washer, when you guys saw the M&M's race, I completely forgot to put the extra star next to his name for the fourth win. I apologize for that. And hold on, I need a drink of water. But anyways, nonetheless, Cody Hagan starts third. Fourth is going to be his teammate, Sonny Hammond, in the 17. Now, Sonny Hammond's had an up and down season, pretty much, and he comes into this race 20th in the points, so he's still inside the top 20, but he wants to get a win so he can get himself in the chase potentially. Starting fifth is going to be the 3 of Michael Norman, who has the win from Charlotte under his belt, and he comes into this race still fifth in points. We'll see if he can get himself a second win this season. Starting sixth is going to be the 42 of Matt McIntyre, who's been on a momentum streak, as he's up to 18th in the points. Let's see if he can get a win. Starting seventh is going to be the 88 of Cole Daly, who comes into this race 15th in the points, and he's got that win from Atlanta under his belt, so that's pretty much a good spot for him to be in the chase. Starting eighth is going to be the driver who comes into the race 23rd in points. He fell a few spots after that tough loss break at M&M's, where he was running in the top 3 at the time, and he had to come down pit road with 3 laps to go, and he fell from 20th to 23rd. But he's got a good starting spot up here in the 8th position. We shall see if he can get his win. Ninth is going to be the 16 of Charles Jackson, who had a momentum streak going, and then it all came to a crashing halt when he got involved in that incident last week at M&M Super Speedway. But we shall see if he can reboot his momentum streak. And rounding out the top 10 and the last driver to go in depth, we're going to talk about Cody Lamas in the 39, who starts in 10th. And he comes into this race 14th in the points. So he's been stepping it up a little bit, but he wants to get that win. All these drivers need to get them. It's like all these drivers want to get the win so they can get a spot in the chase, which is why winning a race is so crucial to these drivers. But anyways, the rest of the field: 11th is Dylan Young, 12th Henrietta Fitzwater, 13th Barney Taylor, 14th Ian Siegel, 15th Nick Smith, 16th Ian Dutta, 17th, our winner from Thornton, Danny Wells. Look out for Danny Wells to possibly get up to the front here on a road course. 18th, Noah Hart. 19th, Tommy Mooney. Rounding out the top 20 is Kyle Matthews. 21st is Trent Dunham. 22nd, Chris Oliver. 23rd, Austin Weiner. 24th, our four-time winner and points leader, Chris Washer. And then look at this row, 25th and 26th, it's the Rodriguez brothers. Charlie Rodriguez, 25th, Carlos Rodriguez in 26th. 27th, Cameron Bailey, 28th, Seth Cole. 29th, Joshua Michaels. Rounding out the top 30 is Zachary Fitzwater. 31st is Chris Michaels. 32nd is Dylan Thero. 33rd is Eric Burton. 34th, Daniel Day. 35th, Ibrahim. 36th, Eric Almirola. And then we got front row motorsports row here in 37th, Nathan Hudson. 38th, Chris Dollarton. 39th is Chris Nelson. Rounding out the top 40 is David Rivera. 41st is Henry Nova. And then starting dead last is Jordan Culp. So that is a look at your starting lineup. We are going to go green flag racing once they get to the stripe. Now this race we're going to see mostly double wide racing. It's going to be kind of rare to see anybody try to go 3 wide on somebody. And I'd say if they try to go 3 wide, there's going to be a spin out or a wreck, whichever one happens. Also, I believe this pit road that we have here at this track is probably maybe going to be one of the tougher pit roads to be a part of. But here they go. Here we go. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys and girls. And Jessica Sheldon actually got a big jump on that start. And she's going to get the lead. She got a big start. I guess Austin LaPlante didn't get the... I guess he must have spun his tires a little bit and he couldn't get the car going. Some drivers are going into the grass, but that's nothing. They're still keeping it together. But Jessica Sheldon's already got the lead from pole sitter Austin LaPlante. Sonny Hammond going up to 3rd. And then Matt McIntyre's taking 5th away from Cody Hagan. This is the uphill part of the track. Now they're going downhill. So that's a little interesting turn of events kind of thing there, as they are now heading in through this turn. Jessica Sheldon's actually pulling away from Austin LaPlante. And where are we going to see the lights next time? Just check to see if there is a caution out. And they're coming around to the stripe here in just a moment. I think it said we're still green. Yeah, we are still green. The pace car hasn't pulled out. So Jessica Sheldon is going to lead the first lap, and she's got a huge lead. And then we got a battle for second between Austin LaPlante and Sonny Hammond. Sonny Hammond got around. He's pulling ahead of Austin LaPlante now. And Jessica Sheldon still maintains the lead. And man, she's got a really fast car right now. Going uphill and then downhill through this turn. And then uphill again. It's so many uphill, downhill parts of this track, it's so ridiculous to even count them. But anyways, we're going to do a quick run through of the top 15 of who's on there right now. Jessica Sheldon leads, Sonny Hammond 2nd, Austin LaPlante 3rd, Matt McIntyre 4th, Michael Norman 5th, Cody Hagan 6th, Fred Schaefer 7th, Cole Daly 8th, Charles Jackson 9th, top 10 is Dylan Young, 11th Barney Taylor, 12th Cody Lamas, 13th Nick Smith, and he gets turned by Danny Wells hard into the wall. Both the 29 and the 20 into that tire wall. As I was going to that perspective, we had a crash. Let's check to see if the pace car lights are on. Yeah, they are on, so the caution is out. That is a tough break for Danny Wells and Nick Smith. Looked to me, from my perspective, it looked like Danny Wells got underneath the 20 going into that final corner, and that's what started it. We'll take a look at a replay in just a moment. Everybody's slowing down. Jessica Sheldon's still going pretty fast, but that's because she hasn't caught up to the pace car yet. But yeah, look at that. They go up to about 175 miles an hour going into that corner. In that second to last corner, I believe. Now she's come around to the stripe to take to get to lap 4. But man, that was I could see a rivalry brewing between Nick Smith and Danny Wells after this race. We've seen quite a bit of rivalries kind of been brewing, or teasing of rivalries here and there this season. I mean, hell, at one point it was like Eric Burton and somebody else. I can't really remember who. But Jessica Sheldon still leads the race. And it's far ways back to Sonny Hammond. There they are, just coming into the frame here. And they're just getting to the 11. So that shows you how big of a gap the 11 of Jessica Sheldon had over second place. But anyways, while we're under caution, we're going to take a look to see what brought out the caution for the first time today here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Well, here's a look at what happened. Nick Smith was battling for a position right there, and then they come off of the last turn. I think it looked like Nick Smith came down a little bit in front of Danny Wells, and Nick Smith takes a hard hit. So does Danny Wells. Both go into that tire wall. We're actually going to go to the helicopter camera to get a proper perspective of this. There you see Nick Smith. Or no, Danny Wells just came up trying to run his line, and he just flat out turned the 20, and the 20 just slammed into that tire wall, as too did Danny Wells. But yeah, watch the 29. He's just following his line, but he doesn't realize the 20 was there, and he just flat out turned the 20 of Nick Smith. And he goes in the wall. Danny Wells couldn't control his car, so he hit the tire wall as well. And other than that, they were the only two drivers involved in this incident, and they were running inside the top 15 at the time of this happening, which is a tough break for both of these guys. But at the same time, the blame would probably have to go to the 29 of Danny Wells, because he should have known that the 20 was still there in that line, and he just flat out dumped him, and not only cost Nick Smith the race, but he cost himself the race. But that was a look at what brought out the caution. We will now take you to the restart. Well, the lights on the pace car are still on, but we see pit stops going down. We're going to go to this pit lane camera. However, I don't think that's really a good angle. I heard some scrapings with some cars trying to get into their pit stalls. So let me go to the none camera so we can see who's going to come out first. It's going to be Austin LaPlante, because he went with 2 tires and fuel. So some pit strategies happening here. Jessica Sheldon, who came in as the leader in the pit road, and she's got a slow stop right now. I believe she was waiting for everybody to get around, but that is a lot of valuable spots lost for Jessica Sheldon. A lot of valuable spots lost for that car. So it will be Austin LaPlante as the leader. He's going to take his first place spot he had in qualifying back. But yeah, that's the first time we've had a lead change all race long. So I believe we're going to take a look at the lineup, but first, the drivers who are out of the race are as followed: Danny Wells and Nick Smith. Tough break for both of those cars. But then again, like I said, the blame would have to go to the 29 for turning the 20 when he should have known he was there, even though he tried to get a good run. But anyways, the lineup right now, It's Austin LaPlante the leader, Fred Schaefer second, Charles Jackson third, Cody Hagan fourth, Dylan Young fifth. And it's Michael Norman sixth, Barney Taylor seventh, Chris Oliver eighth, Ian Siegel ninth. Rounding out the top 10 is Cole Daly. Then it's Austin Weiner, Ian Dutta, Noah Hart, Matt McIntyre, Cody Lamas, Kyle Matthews, Henrietta Fitzwater, Trent Dunham, Chris Washer, and Jessica Sheldon back here. Then it's Sonny Hammond, Seth Cole, Tommy Mooney, Charlie Rodriguez, Cameron Bailey, Dylan Thero, Carlos Rodriguez, Henry Nova, Zachary Fitzwater, Chris Michaels, Daniel Day, Chris Dollarton, Jordan Culp, Joshua Michaels, Eric Burton, Nathan Hudson, Rue McIntyre, David Rivera, Ibrahim, and Chris Nelson. That is your field where they stand right now. And they're getting ready to enter the last turn. The pace car is going to pull down the pit road, so we will be going back racing. And here we go. 11 laps to go here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, but still plenty of time for anybody to make or break here in this race. And Austin LaPlante's going to be the one who's going to start pulling ahead over Fred Schaefer in second. And Austin LaPlante would love to get himself the second win of his career so he can potentially lock himself into the chase. But let's take a look at where the field runs right now. It's Austin LaPlante the leader, Fred Schaefer second, Cody Hagan third, Charles Jackson fourth, Michael Norman fifth. Then it's Dylan Young sixth, Barney Taylor, Chris Oliver, Cole Daly, Austin Weiner the top 10. Then it's Ian Siegel in 11th, Noah Hart 12th, Matt McIntyre 13th, Ian Dutta 14th, Cody Lamas 15th, Kyle Matthews 16th, Henrietta Fitzwater 17th, Trent Dunham 18th, Jessica Sheldon 19th, and Chris Washer is your top 20. Then it's Seth Cole, Sonny Hammond, Charlie Rodriguez, Tommy Mooney, Carlos Rodriguez, Cameron Bailey, Zachary Fitzwater, Dylan Thero, Daniel Day, Henry Nova, Chris Dollarton. Oh, and Noah Hart's wrecked! Noah Hart just hit the wall and he had to teleport to pit road. Is that going to bring out a caution, or are we still going to go green? We are still green flag racing, so it looked like it was just a one-car incident. Not enough to throw out a caution. That's the thing with road courses. One-car spins aren't enough to cause a caution, but when it's multiple cars and they can't move, then that's where problems are going to come, and that's when the caution would have to come out. So, but since that was a one-car incident, no caution. And Austin LaPlante's got a big lead right now. See how far he's up ahead when they scored. He was about over a second and a half ahead of Cody Hagan, who is running in the second spot. Then it's Fred Schaefer, Michael Norman, Charles Jackson, the top 5. Barney Taylor trying to go underneath Charles Jackson for the spot, but he couldn't get to him enough right there. There's Dylan Young in 7th there, and we are 9 laps to go, one lap away from halfway. Chris Oliver doing really good, as is Cole Daly and Austin Weiner. These guys are running really, really strong at the moment. But meanwhile, Austin LaPlante still has a big lead over the 99 of Cody Hagan. Cody Hagan gained 100th of a second on that previous lap, but Austin LaPlante still has a big lead. But can Cody Hagan run him down is the question. I believe Cody Hagan does have a pretty fast car. It's just he's got just a big gap in front of him with Austin LaPlante. Let's take a look at the pace car to see if the caution's out right now. Nope, they are still green flag racing at the moment. And Austin the Plant, let's see how much the gap was. He gained a little bit ahead of Cody Hagan. So Cody Hagan has just been stagnated between 1.5, 1.6 seconds back of Austin LaPlante. But we still have halfway to go, so really anything can happen. Oh, wait a minute. Is caution out right now? Yeah, it is. Caution flag is out. I thought I saw some lights go off on a vehicle. But who's back here? Eric Burton's back here. Rue McIntyre's back here. Oh, Chris Michaels was involved. Chris Dollarton? Oh, and is that Carlos Rodriguez? It is. Carlos Rodriguez has damage and smoke coming out of the car. Trying to check up here, see if anybody else. Henry Nova's got damage. Does David Rivera have damage? Let's see. No, he's fine. Looks like everybody else is actually good. But it looked like it was a 4 or 5 car incident that took place. But Austin LaPlante is the leader with 7 to go. And he's approaching the pace car. And there it is. But before we take a look at a replay to see what brought out the caution, we need to look at a replay to see what happened to the 56 of Noah Hart. Well, here's a look at it. He was racing side by side with the 42 of Matt McIntyre. And let's see what's going to happen with this. Yeah, they're still good to go at the moment. Oh, he got up into the quarter panel of Matt McIntyre and it got him sideways. Lost a lot of ground. And then Noah Hart just got kicked up to the high line and he just got up into the grass and couldn't get off it, and then he goes up into that tire wall and then the engine dies. It's like anytime a car hits the tire walls, it's pretty much end of the day for you, and that's exactly what happened to Noah Hart. He just got in a little contact with the 42 of Matt McIntyre, and then he was stuck up on the high line, and he got up into the grass and into the tire wall, and he couldn't control his car. But tough break for Noah Hart. But now let's take a look at a replay to see what brought out the caution for the second time here at Canada. Well, I managed to pinpoint where the caution came out. Carlos Rodriguez is going to be racing side by side with Seth Cole, and the same thing happens to him just like the Noah Hart. He got stuck up on the high line. And wow, he hit that tire wall hard, and he went up in the air. And then Chris Dollarton had nowhere to go. He didn't know what was going to happen. And then Chris Michaels got shoved in there by the 6 of David Rivera. But look at this hit Carlos Rodriguez is going to take from Henry Nova into the right side, and he goes up in the air, almost turned that car completely over. But let's see with the 7. He was getting shoved by the 6, and that's what got him involved. The 6 was involved, as too was Joshua Michaels. Jordan Culp got a little piece of it, but not enough to get involved. But we got to take a look at the hits Carlos Rodriguez takes. As there you see, he gets stuck up into the grass, can't control his car, and boom, into the tire wall, and he goes up in the air. Both the front tires went up in the air. That's how hard it hit. Then he goes up in the air again from the hit from Chris Dollarton. And then up in the air again from Henry Nova. 3 hard licks for the 30 of Carlos Rodriguez. But there were some more cars involved than I initially thought. It was about 8 cars involved. And Carlos Rodriguez took the worst of that incident, getting slammed 3 times. First into the tire wall, then by Chris Dollarton, and then by Henry Nova. But anyways, that is a look at what brought out the caution for the second time today here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. While we're under green, we are seeing pit stops go down. But it looked like I thought I saw some damage on the 42 of Matt McIntyre. Let's check. He's got a little buckle on the hood, but he's still up there. And he's going to be the one who's going to stay out, and he's going to be the leader. While there's pit stops going down, we have a new leader in Matt McIntyre. Eric Burden's got damage on the rear of his car. I believe Matt McIntyre and Eric Burden might have gotten into each other on pit road, but they're still on track, and Matt McIntyre's actually the leader. Actually, they didn't get involved in pit road since they weren't in the pits. But anyways, we're going to take a look at the list of drivers who are out of the race as followed, and they are Chris Dollerton, Chris Michaels, Nathan Hudson was involved in something, and then Noah Hart, Danny Wells, Nick Smith. I'm seeing Carlos Rodriguez is not yet lapped. Is he still on track? No, he's out. He's out of the race, but he wasn't lapped at all. But anyways, a look at your lineup when we go green. It's Matt McIntyre, the leader. Jessica Sheldon, second. Keep an eye out for her. She could get around the 42 and get the lead back and probably win this race. Sonny Hammond, third. Fourth, Charlie Rodriguez. Fifth is going to be Cameron Bailey. Sixth is David Rivera. Seventh, Joshua Michaels. Eighth, Jordan Culp. Ninth, Ibrahim. And rounding out the top 10 is going to be Chris Nelson. Then it's Rue McIntyre, Eric Burden. Austin LaPlante's going to start in 13th. 14th's Cody Hagan. 15th, Fred Schaefer. 16th, Charles Jackson. 17th, Barney Taylor. 18th, Chris Oliver. 19th, Michael Norman. Top 20 is going to be Cole Daly. Then it's Zachary Fitzwater, Dylan Young, Daniel Day, Ian Siegel, Austin Weiner, Tommy Mooney, Chris Washer, Henrietta Fitzwater, Henry Nova still on track, Seth Cole, Dylan Thero, Cody Lamas, Trent Dunham, Ian Dutta, and Kyle Matthews. Those are the cars still left on track. But Matt McIntyre may have the lead, but he's got the fastest car, I believe, of this race in Jessica Shelton right behind him. So this is going to be tough, and also he has that buckle on the hood, so it's going to be hard to tell whether or not he's going to be up to speed or not. We'll see whenever they come through this off the last turn to take the green flag with 5 laps to go here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. And here we go. Green flag is out. Jessica Sheldon's starting to approach that back bumper of the 42, and Sonny Hammond's into this battle. So we got a 3-car battle at the moment for the lead, but Charlie Rodriguez is kind of lurking behind this. Let's see if Jessica Sheldon's going to make any kind of move to get underneath the 42 to get around to get the lead back. Right now, Matt McIntyre, it appears he's up to speed, and he's still got the lead. Sonny Hammond got a little kip up to the higher groove. And it looks like he's going to go to the inside of Jessica Sheldon for the second spot. Jessica Sheldon's going to get that second spot taken away, and now she is lost ground. And Matt McIntyre's actually kind of pulling away from second place, but don't count out Sonny Hammond. He's got a pretty fast car as he took a bold move to go to the inside of Jessica Sheldon to get the second spot, and he prevailed. Meanwhile, back here we got a battle for fourth between Cameron Bailey and Charlie Rodriguez, and there was some contact between those two. Oh, be careful, Charlie. Wow, saved it. David Rivera is actually on pit road. Keeping an eye out, checking everywhere back here to see if anybody's gone up. Oh, Dylan Thero! Dylan Thero went up in the tire wall, but he didn't hit it with the front or the particular spot. He's still going, although he's got some right side damage, but the caution flag is out. Caution flag is out. That could have been the deciding factor as we are 4 laps to go. I believe if we do get to go back green, it's going to be a 1-lap shootout. But man, I figured we could have gotten away with that because it was a 1-car incident. He saved it, but I guess it was a hard enough hit to bring out the caution. Jessica Sheldon actually got around Sonny Hammond for second. So she is going to take second place back. Because they are racing it back to the line. And when they come to the line, it'll be 3 laps to go. I believe if we do go green, it will probably be a 1-lap shootout. It all just depends on the scenario. And it is 3 laps to go. But anyways, we're now going to take a look at a replay to see what brought out the caution for the third time here at Canada. Well, here's what brought out the caution. It wasn't actually for Dylan Theroux. It was between an incident between Fred Schaefer and Barney Taylor. Similar thing to what happened with Danny Wells and Nick Smith in that same area, too. He's going to turn the 15, and the 15 goes up into the outside wall, but he kept it going. But then let's take a look at the 13 of Dylan Theroux, because this was where the second portion of the wreck happens. And there were 3 wide right there, and Dylan Theroux just got stuck up there. He goes up to the high line, and then into the outside tire barrier he goes. But he didn't hit enough to where smoke would come out of the car, and he keeps it going. We'll see if he's going to be able to finish the race along with Barney Taylor. But those were the looks at what brought out the caution for the third time here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. We will now take you to what could be the final restart if we do go green. Well, we are on the last lap, and it doesn't look like they're going to go green. So it looks like we have the race set officially. It's going to be Matt McIntyre who is going to win here in the Canada 300 at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Well, it depends on if he can make it on fuel, because remember, some drivers elected to stay out under the caution before last, and I don't know the fuel window, so if he does make it the rest of the way, he is the winner. But this is all going to be very interesting. We've seen it happen in real life NASCAR many times before, where drivers may be in the catbird seat for the win, but the only thing of it is, do they have enough fuel to make it, depending on when they last pitted. But let's check back here to try to find who was the first driver who came down pit road running, and it's Austin LaPlante, so we'll see if Matt McIntyre on back to Eric Burden can make it on fuel. I do think they can, but it's just all a matter of when they last pitted. And I believe the last time they pitted was around lap 5. So I don't know. We'll see if they can make it. We're keeping an eye out on that miles per hour gauge. And right now they're running the speed of 51 miles an hour. So obviously he's still running that car. No sputtering or any movement of sort has happened, or at least not yet. But I mean, if the race comes down to people having to come down pit road, my goodness, it's going to be crazy to see who is going to win this race. That all depends, though. I do believe that these drivers may be able to make it. And we are looking at who could be the potential winner right now of Matt McIntyre. But you're getting ready to head into that last turn where pit road is, and we'll see if anybody's going to come down to pit road or not. And they are approaching. Let's check if they have to come down or not. Nope, they're not coming down, so I guess the race is official. They are able to make it, and we've got ourselves a race winner. 17th in points, Matt McIntyre in the 42 is going to get the first win for Earnhardt Ganassi this season, and the first win of his career. Matt McIntyre is your winner here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Great, interesting strategy. He was able to stay out after everybody pitted, and he kept it up front and led, and he was hoping for the caution to come out, and it did, and it all played out into his favor. So Matt McIntyre will win his first race of the season and possibly be in the chase. And when I say possibly, there could be more one-time winner drivers to where we have to choose the highest winners in the points. But we're going to take a look at the official finishing results before they even come down pit road. And Matt McIntyre is going to win here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Great job for him. Jessica Sheldon, so close to getting a win again, but she's going to get second. This could move her up pretty high up into the point standings. Sonny Hammond, highest finish of his career of third. Great run for him. This could move him up immensely in points. Cameron Bailey, highest finish of his career in fourth. Great run for him. And Charlie Rodriguez, starting to come around again a little bit. He's going to come away with fifth, and I believe he ran out of fuel. I believe he's out of fuel. So they had only one lap left to stretch, and Charlie Rodriguez was out of fuel. That means the rest of these guys are going to start on. Sonny Hammond's running out. But none of that matters because the race is over. But anyways, Joshua Michaels gets his highest finish of the season of sixth. Great run for him. Highest finish of the season, I believe, for Chris Nelson. He's going to get seventh. And yes, now Matt McIntyre and Jessica Sheldon have run out of fuel. Same with Cameron Bailey. I think everybody almost has run out of fuel. Or at least all the top 9 have run out. So now these guys will have to teleport to pit road. But anyways, Rue McIntyre desperately needed a great run, and he did. He gets 8th. And then Eric Burton 9th. And then Austin LaPlante gets 10th. 11th is Cody Hagan. 12th, Charles Jackson. 13th, Fred Schaefer. 14th, Cole Daly. And then rounding out the top 15 is Chris Oliver. That is a look at your top 15. Now these drivers are going backwards because they're up a hill. And they're going up in the wall, spinning sideways. Be careful. Oh, now they got teleported to pit road. Then it's Michael Norman, Zachary Fitzwater, Daniel Day, Dylan Young, and Austin Weiner, the top 20. Then it's Ian Siegel, Tommy Mooney, Henrietta Fitzwater, Seth Cole, Chris Washer, Cody Lamas, Henry Nova, Trent Dunham, Kyle Matthews, Ian Dutta, the top 30. Dylan Thero managed to keep going. He's going to get 31st. Then David Rivera, Jordan Kolb, Ibrahim, Barney Taylor. Those are the drivers who finished. And then everybody else was out of the race. Carlos Rodriguez, Chris Dollarton, Chris Michaels, Nathan Hudson, Noah Hard, Danny Wells, and Nick Smith. Those are the drivers who finished and didn't finish. But as far as the point situation, Chris Washer came into this race 33 points ahead of Eric Burton. And Eric Burton finished in the 9th spot, while Chris Washer finished in 25th. Neither driver led a lap, so it looks like that, let's double check. Eric Burton finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 24, not 24, excuse me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, make that 14, 15. So he's going to finish 16 spots ahead of Chris Washer, which means he's going to cut the points lead Chris Washer had nearly half. So I believe Chris Washer is going to be 17 points ahead of Eric Burton heading into the next race, which will be at, I always keep forgetting, I need to read the schedules more often. The next race we'll be running will be Pocono. So Chris Washer may still have the points lead, but he is going to be in a little bit more trouble because Eric Burton somehow managed to get more points on him. So that is a look at your official finishing results. Next race we'll be running is the Pocono 400 at Pocono, and that's going to be a very treacherous race. But anyways, thank you guys for watching this race. Coming up is the point standings as well as, again, the official finishing results as usual. But until Pocono, see you all later, as I am Levi McIntyre, aka ThrashManiac99, the voice of NASCAR Walmart Cup Series, saying so long.